Welcome everybody to today's webinar on how to improve sales win rates using conversational intelligence. Now, for those who have been with us in our previous webinars, we had sessions about automating prospecting. We had sessions about how to keep your pipeline full. We went over the Engage platform and we spoke about how to write cold emails that actually convert. Now, until this day, we have been going over all the steps that actually happen before the call. But let's not forget a very, very important side, what comes next. So when you finally get on a call and you're speaking with your prospect, that's where the real conversation actually begins. And just like all the other features that have been released at Lusha, there's a reason that we take the time to build new things. And that's exactly what Lusha has added to the platform, which is conversations, which was designed to keep you focused and organized, powered by AI. So in today's session, we'll explore what conversation intelligence is and why it matters. We'll also touch on today's GTM challenges, where we're going to learn more about how to get into insights and our conversations, where we have no visibility, basically. We're also going to go over a few actions to boost success, and we'll go over a demo. At the end, we'll also drop in some Q&As and have some back and forth with you guys. So my name is Tal from the customer success team here, and I'll be your host for today. With me, we have Ol, our sales and marketing ecosystem manager, who is joining me to teach us all what we need to know about what comes after the call. And I see that Yair also joined us as well, so thank you so much, Yair. Now, between all of us, we've been on countless calls with customers, and we've heard the frustration and what you guys are facing on daily, and weekly, monthly, and quarters, of course, everything around that. And we've been working closely with the product team to build features and services that actually solve that exact kind of challenge. So, what is conversation intelligence, and why does it matter? Now, let's break it down. So conversation intelligence captures, transcribes, and analyzes every customer call, giving GTM teams the visibility to replicate wins, catch risks, and align on the real drivers of revenue. In other words, you're not just capturing the call, you're capturing the patterns. And we now can easily see that what made us, you can now see what actually allows us to win those deals, if there are any kind of risks that have appeared, and how we can improve our next conversation. So this is what takes Lusha all the way home, basically, from what we talked about before, that everything happens before the calls, all the way to after the call. And this is a major piece in the world of GTM. Now, allow me to point out that Conversations is free right now, and it will be until the end of the month, so feel free to go ahead and try it out. And I would also like to point out that we are fully backed up by compliance. If you've seen that on the first slide, we have all necessary certifications such as GDPR, CCPA, ISO, and SOC 2 Type 2. So feel free on that end. We got you covered. So going back to the crowd for a moment, we are going to run a poll in a quick second. And on the screen, you're going to see a couple of options. Feel free to go and select. But basically what we're asking is how many of you are using a conversation intelligence platform or a call recorder today? So I'm not sure if it's on the screen yet. If you guys can maybe let me know in the chat. Not yet. No, nothing yet. 1 second. We'll try to raise it. In the meantime, until we get this organized, yes, the webinar is being recorded. It will be available on our webinar page and Academy page. I'll talk about this towards the end, but also sent to you guys after. So yes, it's recorded, and you will have it in your inbox via email. Okay, polls up. Perfect. So the question was, again, how many of you are using a conversational intelligence platform or a recorder today? So most are not using a tool today, which is okay, perfect. This is exactly what we need. I think it's about 70%, 70% not using and 30% are using. Okay. Let's give it a couple of more moments, see if the numbers change. But again, who is using a platform that basically records your conversations, transcribes them, highlights them, backed up by AI. It's funny how you can't complete a sentence today without saying the word AI somewhere in there. Yeah, so we're still around 70-30%. Okay, this is great. So you guys are going to get a lot out of this call today. So okay. So yeah, we'll stop that. Paul, appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much. And one more for you. How are you using conversation intelligence today to boost your sales team's performance or improve pipeline visibility? So this is in the chat right now. It's not a poll. Just, let us see, how you guys are using the conversations today. A few guys dropped at the beginning of the webinar. How you guys are using it. Those to summarize, to help you with lead gen. We'll talk about that, how that actually comes into place later on, because it does help you basically learn how to focus on lead generation after that. But how do you guys use these tools today to generate transcripts, to summarize? You guys are using HubSpot. Do they have okay. Efficiency for conversation notes. Copilot. We're running transcriptions. So yeah, I think, a lot today, people are taking the transcriptions and they're moving it over to AI or, a LLM platform, ChatGPT, whatever it might be, and they're trying to get some summaries out of there. Maybe you guys built a GPT already to kind of give you the export. But yeah, 100%. Appreciate everyone who is participating, summarizing calls, create email follow-ups, and also goes to the database as both notes. Yeah, well, actually, Paul, that was a good one. I actually raised that a while ago to take that summary straight into the notes under the account within our CRM. So yeah, good one. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, I think we're all basically in sync here. We all understand why it's needed, how we're using it. And previously, I raised the question, why does it matter? So, and the reason is basically that tools like this provide the GTM teams with something that we all desperately need, and that's visibility. So we need visibility into what's working so we can replicate the next step. We need visibility into risks, so you can actually catch any kind of red flags or missed opportunities or whatever it might be. Visibility into the real drivers of the revenue. So this is how I like to think about it. And I always talk about it in this way. We're on a call and we're listening at the highest level. And we're thinking exactly like, what are we going to say next? And we're, of course, we're bound to miss a lot of parts within the conversation. And we can go ahead and dawdle down a few notes. And so, I don't know if it's only me, but when I come back to my notes, I don't hardly understand what I wrote down there. I put in like bullet points and I'm like, I'll get this for sure. Now, of course, I do eventually get it, but I'm like, what on earth did I write down there? So we can take all of that away and just have a conversation. And if you miss something, just go back to it. So today we have a clear, searchable record of the conversation itself, all summarized, easy to grab. Highlights, chapters, we have the good, we have the bad, and we have the ugly. So now let's talk about the reality for GTM teams today. And for that, I will hand it over to you, buddy. Let's go over some struggles and we'll move over into a live demo.
Sounds good, and thank you, Tal. I really like the comments so far in the chat, and I think that people are already recognizing the abilities of the platforms and the capabilities that are actually allowing us as sellers, as sales managers, as rev teams, and really like to see the participation so far. If we're trying to dive into this, I think that usually we have two main, let's say, big cases that we're seeing. So we have this best performer that is really killing it, and we don't know how, why, we don't know anything. You just, when you're talking with sales leaders that have this A player, and we're asking like, how it's actually working and how they doing it, it's usually something like, that they just, putting their teeth on their necks and never letting go, or something like this. So I think that this is good because, we like tenacious and we like persistent. But part of the thing is to really figure out what is happening, what is going on, what is what we can replicate. And this is just one case. And I think the second one is one that most of us gonna really attach to. And this is the case when someone say like, I'm asking one of my reps, like, how the call went, and I'm getting like, it was a great call. And this is what I'm calling like the topic of when a great call becomes a close lost. And this is a problem when we're feeling that the conversation went amazing, but we're missing a lot of the information that actually was shared, or we haven't asked the right questions. And as managers, we really want to monitor this stuff and better understand like how it works. So before I'm diving into the struggles that are gonna cause us to actually use these kind of platforms, I really want to let's say respect you as sellers, as rev teams, and understand like what's the real way that we're gonna show you how we can handle this stuff. So I'm gonna demo the platform exactly how I want my reps to actually show it. And this is by doing the demo in a kind of a different way. Uh, it's the way that shows the value of what we're pitching. Okay, and it's called favorite acronym. I don't know if you're aware of it, but if you just can give me one click, and let's dive in. So this is how the top 5% will act on their demos, and this is what they do differently. This acronym, came from Chris Orlob, and I think it's amazing. It's the best way to actually show value to our customers and to just show what our customers are really interested in. Avoid the pitch slap, avoid the feature dump, avoid everything that's just confusing our customers and just causing more questions than answers. So let's just jump in and figure out how this stuff is working. This is a little piece of value that you didn't think that you're gonna get, but I want to give you something. So let's go. So the first one is framing the pain. So framing the pain is when I'm starting my demo, I'm always starting with the pain that I've got from my prospect or customer. So the idea is to say like, okay, so one of the problems that you actually talked about was the ability of, let's say, just for example, better coach your reps. And right now you're feeling like this is a solution answer, right? We really want to deep dive into the problem and get the right answer. So let's say we're not hitting the quota right now of close one, and when I'm trying to book the meetings, I'm usually mess things up, and I see that we're just hitting 70% of the target. Let's say this is the problem. Okay, so exactly when I'm starting this pitch or this demo, I'm saying, so as we talked about you missing 30% of your target each year, I really would like to show you how we're doing it with our platform. So another click, A is going to be ask a question. Okay, so if we haven't asked it before, the question that I'm going to ask here is, how are you doing it today? What exactly are the workflow that you're trying to do today to close this gap of 30%? Okay, another click. The V is for visualize the outcome. So with Lusha, you can close this 30% gap, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm just going to show the whole flow. So it's framing the pain. Yeah, so we talked about your gap of 30% of closing meetings. I really would like to know a bit more about how you try to handle this gap today. And okay, cool, understood. Let's show you how it's actually done with Lusha. And now this is the place when I'm orient them to the screen. And this is the next click. The idea is we have our UI and we think that this is perfect. But the problem is we have a lot of things on our UIs, and people are just getting lost and looking at the on the different, the different aspects of your UI, and you really want just to give them a quick tour about what they're looking at and what they're perceiving, because this is important to grasp their attention to the stuff that we want to share. So the next step, and this is the first time that you're actually going to do it, is to reveal the workflow. Okay. And in this place, this is the only place that I'm showing the exact workflow, then answering the pain that we got from the beginning. So it's not going to be a feature dump. If I'm just going to show how to create more meetings with Lusha, This is the only thing that I'm going to show. I'm not going to talk about the quality of the data that is amazing. And I'm not going to talk about a lot of the amazing stuff that we have. I'm just going to talk about how to shrink the gap between my goals, okay, between like what I have today to my goals. Let's continue. Then, after showing the platform, I'm going to implement the value, which means that I'm just going to finish with this is how you can close this gap of 30%. By doing this, you just give it like a frame that the customer can grasp and understand and fully understand that we finished this specific workflow. Now we're going to duplicate it for every pain that we've got. And this is actually going to be the demo, right? It's going to be about all these aspects that we saw so far. The next thing is to tell a story. What I mean by this, stories just sticks. When we're talking with our customers and we share how amazing we are, we still have some uncertainty and disbelief about how amazing we are. And telling a story about a customer similar to their size, similar to their use case, it's something that's really going to stick with them. So this is really important, and be sure that your organization is creating a lot of the stories so you could use as sellers. And the last one is to elicit a response, which means that I really want to say something like, and how this is different from what you are doing today. By doing this, this is the best flow of demo that I ever saw. Just I don't know, some feedback on the chat. If you really like this flow, if you think it's just it's not usable and I spent your time and I just wasted, but I would really like to see like what are you thinking about it? Just a quick one on the chat. Okay, thank you, Stefan. Got it, got it, got it. So let's just jump in and
But
thank you for
Paul
the
did
other
say
guys
he
as
likes
well.
the
Yeah, yeah,
idea.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting some, and some. But let's look. So let's move on. So the struggles that we usually see when we're talking about, implementing conversational intelligence is one of these four. If you can just click it. So the first one is missed deal risks and opportunities. The second one is hard to identify the winning patterns. We have the unscalable enablement and onboarding process. And eventually we have the inconsistent CRM data. These four are the main reasons that people are using these platforms. Eventually you have tons of different use cases that you can use it. If you're using the transcription, you can go far and wide and do a lot of amazing things. Let's just dive into each problem, and we're going to show you how Lusha Conversations is going to solve it for you. So one click, and let's talk about missed deal risks and opportunities. So without the visibility into the specific conversation that your reps are handling, you're missing the risk signals and the real-time deal momentum. Now, this one is important just because if I'm not a part of the call and I'm a manager, this is golden. Everything is collected for me. I get a full summary. I'm getting all the action items that been talked in the conversation itself. And on the bottom right, you can actually see the risks that the platform already uncovered. And this is it's not just the stuff that people talk about, it's also the implicit, because we figure out what we're trying to achieve in the conversation themselves. And all of this is, of course, auto-populated, and you have the ability to catch them and start working on them and prepare for your next meeting. So this is the first ability that we actually seeing by analyzing the conversation itself. Let's move on. And we're going to talk about, I see the picture moved a bit. But when we click on the coaching aspect, okay, this is the second part. When talking about how hard it is to identify the winning patterns. Okay, so now Lucia Conversation can actually coach your reps for you, give them personalized coaching piece for each conversation they're actually handling. So on this conversation, when you click the coaching, you can see that our opening was pretty good, 8 out of 10. Our qualification was not that good at all. Our presentation and demo was, I'm sorry, crap. And we can see that the closing was above the roof, and we have 9 out of 10. So in every piece of this coaching, we get what actually happened, what to keep, and what to improve. And when we start analyzing these coaching aspects in each and every one of the calls, but also in the insights tabs, we're going to have them aggregated later on. So you're going to have the ability to start monitoring your reps on specific skills. There you can focus on the stuff that you really want to improve in your reps, or taking the pieces that are important and stuff that are actually could be replicated into other reps. And then, and this is the third struggle that we have, another one, it's how unscalable it is to create enablement and onboarding processes. So let's say that we have a meeting, okay? And in this meeting, if you can see, we have the ability to start capturing specific moments. You can see in the middle of the screen, below the square that's supposed to be with a video, and underneath, when we have the bars of the conversation, you can see the snippet button. If you're going to click it, what we're going to get, let's click it. We're going to get the snippet button, the snippet form. Here we can actually say what it's about, what is interesting about it, and what people should learn. And then we can put it into a specific category. Okay, this will help us organize everything under shareable, informative aspects that we can see in the snippet library later on. So if we, let's say, created a snippet, one click, we could get into the snippet library, when you can get all the snippet names, the categories, the subcategories, who created them, when, how many people actually saw it, and all of this stuff is, of course, searchable. We have the filters, we have everything that we can start placing onboarding sessions or enablement session based on the best performing pieces on our team. This is how it's supposed to be done. So this is a very powerful case that we can replicate across the entire team. If we have another one, just a click to see how it actually look like. So when we're clicking a specific snippet, we get the sidebar opened, and then we can see the video, we can see the transcript, and we can see comments that people actually left on it. We can start asking questions, we start collaborating on this piece, and we can make sure that everyone are getting this snippet and its value the best way possible to start talking with our customers, in a format of let's say a solution and problem, a pain and impact, and how we actually solving it with our platform or through objection handling or whatever we just wanted to cover. So this is the unscalable enablement and onboarding struggle. Let's jump into the last one. And this is the inconsistent CRM data. Okay, now this is disaster usually when we're trying to figure out by ourselves, and the reps, the reps are trying actually, to feel the things by their own, but there is a problem, and let's say they don't like it. And this one is horrible because people are eventually going to share what they want to share. And after these meetings, when you are using Lusha conversations, everything is recorded, everything is analyzed, and all the summarization of the conversation itself is automatically pushed into Salesforce. And then this is how it's actually look like. This is a screenshot from our Salesforce. What you can see right now is everything. It's the meeting summary, it's the next steps, it's the deal risks. And this is super crucial because then you can start automating different aspects of the meeting analysis, right? We can start doing API with Salesforce. We can start pulling things out. We can start learning. And I saw some people in the chat at the beginning that talked about, like the usage of transcription, or the usage of I want to learn about the problems, about the specific objection handling pieces, and all this kind of stuff. All this can be pulled from here. About the HubSpot integration, it's coming up soon. Right now, integrated into Salesforce automatically, and you have the ability to do this today. As we shared, this is the four things that we can actually pull to solve the specific problem that we showed. So as I said at the beginning, And this is how you're actually solving these struggles. What I would love to show you is with a quick share of screen. I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually integrate into Lusha conversations. So as you're well aware, Lusha is a freemium product. You have the ability to actually sign up for free. I don't know if you're a user of Lusha. You just saw something interesting about conversational intelligence and joined this session. So I'm going to show you in 2 minutes how easy it is to set it up. So if you can let me share my screen for a second. Amazing. Ba, ba, ba. And of course, 1000% when I trying to show something on Zoom, it's getting the wrong screen. So here it is. Um, if you're in Lusha, general Lusha, right, just sign up. This is a fresh free customer, the free user that I just created. I'm going into the conversations. You can see the new button. So you can click it, and then you can see this empty page, empty state that's saying that you have the option to connect your calendar and get the AI insights from your next call. So how it's actually working, you have actually three options. The first one is to connect your Google Calendar. I don't need to explain how easy it is. It's just 3 clicks and you're in. What it means that you can start monitoring every call that you're having. In the settings, you have the option to actually change it from, okay, what specific calls would I like to record? I'm going to show it in a sec. The same for Outlook. And we also have the option to record a live meeting, which means that when I click it, I'm just pasting the invite link. Okay. In the meeting title, I'll give it a name and start recording. When I'm clicking the start recording, our recording bot will jump in the conversation just as another user, another participant in the conversation itself. It was called, like its name is going to be the name that you're going to set up for the entire organization. And then the call will be recorded. Of course, as Tal mentioned at the beginning, because with GDPR compliance and everything, everyone will get a pop-up that this call is being recorded and they ask for the permission and everything is by the highest standard of compliance. So when I'm connecting, let's say I'm connecting my calendar, let's just connect this for a second. So I'm not getting everything. So I'm allowing, everything in the screen and there. In the second that I have this, all of my conversation are going to be recorded. Now, you can see that I have no recorded calls yet. If I'm clicking the settings, you can see my, of course, calendar. I can disconnect it. And in the organizational tab, and this is just for the admins, you can have the option to join automatically internal meetings. Okay. And you can shut it off. You can join known host meetings, which means that when you're not a host, the bot can join a meeting and record it, even if you're not there. Okay. You can call the bot and start recording it. By ticking this box, it's will just open automatically when you're joining a calendar invitation, when you have people from outside of your organization, and you have the recording meetings option, which means that if you have like a QBR, this kind of stuff, you can record it, and you can decide to not record it. For example, if we want to mix things up, let's say that I want to start recording internal meetings, but I don't like to record the recurring meetings, which is usually the one-on-ones, is the meetings that we have a lot of participants from our team, and we're talking about strategic stuff. So we can just, mark this off, and then we can go from there. And eventually you're gonna call this. So yeah, of course, the best thing that ever happened, let's say, to me. And now this is the recorder name. And when I click done, this is it. It will jump into any conversation. And then you see a recording bot that's called, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. This call will be recorded and start populating in the conversation tab. So this is how easy it is to set Lusha conversations from A over to Z. And now all of your conversations are recorded, analyzed, and you're just gonna close more deals. And this is a promise. So give it a go. Try doing it by yourself. and let me know what you think. Let's
Nice. All right.
make this thing.
Can you see my screen? Just make sure that we're. Yeah, perfect. All right. Oh, thank you so much. That was super helpful. We appreciate the time that you took to walk us down through this path, to break it down for us. Everybody, knowledge is power. This is really important to take a moment to understand that there's a new area at Lusha where you can literally today already start to use it for free, and you'll get a lot of insights from it. So let's take a quick moment before we kind of go into the Q&A part and talk about what we have today at Lusha. This is kind of going back to what Ol just said, the whole A to Z motion. I mentioned it at the beginning because today it's all A to Z. And we call it the GTM flywheel. So what we built is not basically a process. It's the flywheel built for GTM teams. So once you set that wheel in motion, it starts to spin. And the more momentum it gets, the faster it starts to go. So how do we start? Basically, we start with Flex Search and Lusha's powerful signals, where we can layer in company and contact criteria. We then go and include intent data, funding data, technologies, and job changes. Once you go and find those right people, the companies you want to engage with, you go and save them to a list, right? And then this is where the organization begins. That's also the trigger for the next step. After that, we go and activate that list and we turn it into a live list, or moving from a static list to a live list, where Lusha will automatically start recommending contacts or companies, because you have two types of lists, depending on what you need, and recommend for you contacts that you already have saved in that search. It's going to help you find matches that you might not have even considered in the first place. So we're going to kind of broaden your horizon. We can also, it's not written down here, subscribe to a search, which is one of the recent features that was released, which keeps you actually laser focused with the exact kind of filters. So you're not drifting to the left or to the right. It's actually exactly what you're looking for with perfect precision. Onto the Enrich platform, or onto the Outreach with the Engage platform, where we create a tailored email customized to that persona, to that kind of company. And finally, onto Conversations to get the visibility that we need. So that's the A to Z motion. AI takes over at the end to the our calls, and analyzes it, teaches us what's working, coaches us on how to improve ourselves. Now, super important, that feedback goes right back into the next search and the next conversation. Someone talked about lead gen. How does that help us out? Because it could be that from this insight, you may be focusing on the wrong person. It can also give you insights on that end and maybe help you, again, using, other, you can combine it even externally afterwards if you want to, but you have a lot of insights inside the platform. But yeah, you could leverage external platforms to understand, maybe you can help me out to focus on different kind of areas. So bottom line, long story short, the good gets repeated, the bad get cuts out, and the wheel keeps on spinning faster. And that's the beauty of the A to Z motion. And you can clearly see this is all automated. Reminding you one more time, Conversations is free right now until the end of the month, and you can go take a look at it right now. Also reminding you that this webinar is going to be sent to you via email, also available on our Academy page, webinar page as well, so you could go ahead and take a look at it over there. And now on to the Q&A part. So let's see what we have in the Q&A section. Let me just make sure that I'm going to be answering the relevant ones.
Amazing. So as I'm seeing in the QA, Sabrina asked if you can use it with Teams. Absolutely. It's working with Teams, Zoom, Meet, everything. Just connect your calendar, and then it will work. It's just looking at the calendar and looking for the URL of the meeting itself, and then jumps in and helping you figure out, helping you record and analyze your meeting automatically. So no worry about it, Sabrina. What's the main reason why it pushed a GTM engine? How its success in practice over industries?
I think is what he's saying, Michael, here is where's the value here? Why does it push us forward?
Yeah. So if we're looking on the full cycle that Tal just showed, eventually it's taking it from, if you're using the entire Lusha suite, so you actually have the ability to start building your list, start doing all the search. Lusha will learn about you and start promoting specific contacts that are relevant for you. Then you have conversations with your customers. We can learn about specific things and go back into feeding the AI, that creating the recommendations of the contacts that you need to talk with and the companies that you need to talk with for you. It's not just, giving you transcription and then go do your work. No, because this is the platform and this is all in one, you're getting the full push to your engine. Hope that this is helpful. Um, how much will it be after the end of the month? Uh, Great question. I'm seeing that Yair is already typing, so I wouldn't steal his thunder. For sure, Sammy.
Let's see if there's anything in the chat.
Um, See that Dennis is asking the same.
Yeah.
Can you take us through the end-to-end conversation? Rati, can you explain a bit more about your question?
Would be easier, by the way, everybody. Don't type the question in the chat, because the chat kind of moves up. We can lose it. So there's a Q&A part. If you're not aware about it, I think if you don't see it, there's like three dots on Zoom, so you can drop in a question, and it's a dedicated area first.
Sure, I'm seeing questions about Arabic. Yes, it supports Arabic. Let's say I'm not not 100% sure about every dialect of Arabic, but just give it a go. It's the easiest to try. It's important to say that the transcription is going to be in Arabic, and everything is collected. It's fine. The results of all the information and analysis is going to be dropped as English, so you can do it across the entire GTM organization across the world. Uh, uh, yeah, Matthew, if you have a subscription, it's already included. By the end of the month, we're not going to charge anything about recording calls, so you can just give it a try for free completely. After it will start with collecting the credits. Amazing. What is the main reason why it pushes? We talked about it. Do we set the key things to be reviewed by the CI, or has Fathom already set the things that will be analyzed? So Fathom is another tool. So if you want to set it on Fathom, so I would be mad. It's a great platform and you can use it. I'm not I'm not blocking you from using anything else. And if it's connected to your Salesforce HubSpot, whatever. So yeah, it can be dropped. If you want to start setting things up, you can use it, as I said, as an API from your Salesforce right now, later on different CRMs, and you can start building your own cases about how you want it to be dropped. So this is about it. Yes, Matthew. How many credits? So yeah, the credits is going to be 8 credits per call. I see that this is coming back over and over again. We're talking about every call that you have. If you have a call of more than 1 hour, this is a friendly advice as a seller, sales manager, and everything. Stop this. Meetings shouldn't be above 1 hour. It's just because people, have a span of attention that we want to follow. But yeah, you're gonna be fine, and you can use it as a one conversation. Okay, answer live. Yes, done. How many credits? 8 for every call. This is, by the way, the beauty of the platform, right? Every other core quarter is just gonna, take you a price per seat. We're saying, like, no matter the amounts of seats that you have, just record what is really important for you, or just record your sales team calls, and everything will be analyzed, collected, and set in a one spot that you can actually, monitor and follow up. The cool thing is 8 credits per call. So you have the ability to just spend using it for. So it's easy peasy. Does the AI analysis screen the tone of voice? This is critical information to see whether the lead is on board or not. So this is a great question, Rita. Right now we're not analyze, sorry, the voice. The reason that we're not analyzing the voice is that we're getting most of the information from the text itself, from the conversation itself. I'm really with you about the power of nonverbal cues. If you check my background, you will find out why. But in this that spot and place, we're collecting only the text and give you all the information about what's being talked in the conversation itself. Thank you for the great question, Rita.
Yeah, good one.
Amazing.
Yeah, I
Any
think
more questions,
we're
guys? I see the QA is empty, but
yeah.
still here. We're still here.
Chat also, yeah, anything in the chat. I mean, if move it over if you want to the Q&A. I think we're
Yeah.
about to wrap it up, so let us know before we drop off if you have another question for us.
Amazing data protection. So we talked at the beginning. It depends on what kind of data protection are you talking. If you talking about how we collect and save your data, so we're talking about SOC 2 Type 2. So you have everything that you need, and we have ISO, of course. So you can use your own protocol that you like. On the other side, if you're talking about data protection in the compliance side, so we're talking about GDPR compliance. We're talking about CCPA compliance. Yeah, we're one of the only vendors in the world that actually doing CCPA and GDPR full compliance. So yeah, Michael, thank you for this one. What are the major differences between Lusha and Gong? Great question, Brett. First of all, Gong is an amazing platform. I'm not going to talk about my competitors in a different way, but I think that Gong is a more suitable solution if you're looking for something that just focus on this. Lusha is A to Z platform that actually helping you by generating the lead and closing it. So we're helping you with the endover, we're helping you with all this. If you're asking about the abilities of the platform, so Gong is more mature, of course, and you have more capabilities. And this is why Lucia is going to cost you much, much, much less. And you're not paying for platform fee, and you're not paying for users, and you're not paying for your users based on the amount of users that you have in your CRM, and a lot of other stuff that are actually preventing you from getting the full value for money that you're getting out of it. Yair already answered this one, but thank you for the willing. No, I mean the customer on the other side. He has agreed that I'm recording or not. Absolutely. As we said at the beginning of the conversation, Michael, you got a pop-up at the beginning of the conversation when the bot is joining, saying like this call is being recorded for training purposes. You get all the necessary permission-based opener, let's call it, and then you can actually start recording the conversation. If you have a call under NDA, can you use this conversation feature? This is a very good conversation, Bart. Ask your GC. I will recommend for you to talk with your legal team and understand what's the length of this specific NDA. If it's something that you can collect, it's good. We're not using it for any other customer, which means that the only learning that we're doing on the data is for helping your prospecting efforts. We're not using it to enhance our platform or to learn or anything else. So yeah, it just depends on your legal team. Ask them. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not the right guy to ask about it.
Yeah, always best
Uh,
to advise with your legal team, always the best option.
yeah. So this was answered.
I
Yep, I
think
know the answer.
we're
Oh.
good, yeah.
Do all of the users see everyone calls and their ratings? So it's a good question as well. So Darcy, if you connected in one account together, so everyone can see everyone's results, conversations, everything. The thing that we usually do to separate the different groups is to create separate accounts. And then different teams can actually use different platforms, and then they can learn. From their team. The idea is to share this information. Sellers eventually understand that they not like to be monitored, but part of the mutual learning process is about asking questions, learning from my peers, and better understand like how we need to do it better. I think that it's better for us to see that we're not performing well than just getting a peep call. or just getting an invite and getting difficult conversation with our manager without knowing what people are monitoring us about. So just look at this as my answer. You can separate different accounts and just involve other teams. Hope it's answer your question, Darcy. Um
Also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen it before, I just don't remember where the area was, that you can compare yourself to the team members, right? Even looking at their conversations, you can see how many, let's say, questions you asked compared to the team. What was your patience compared to the team? So, like, I think it was like four or areas where you can just see a relative not even going into their conversations, but looking at yourself and comparing high level to others. Cool.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I see that question if it's also working in Portuguese. Yes, we transcribing Portuguese, but again, the results of the analysis will be in English, so everyone in your team can read it.
Yeah.
Lucas, think about your
Yeah.
team as well. Uh, cool,
I
cool,
just had a
cool.
call. My colleague Marine speaking had a call with a French user of ours. 35 minutes of French. I was just by chance I saw it, but then I asked her, "How can you actually take a look at the transcription?" She's like, "It was they nailed it. It was everything was perfect. Like nothing was missed there. Nothing because it happens systems right, but everything was perfect and she loved it. So working smoothly."
Amazing.
Cool.
So,
I think we're gonna wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to go over, or we're good?
just because I don't want to finish like this conversation without answering the last question, but unfortunately, my answer is I don't know. This is Uber specific. Um, Let me check and come back to you. If you can drop a note, if you're a user of Lusha, please use the chat, the support chat. Ask this question, and we could get back to you with an answer. I'm sorry that I don't have the answer in advance. This is not specifically a case that I dealt with before,
Are you speaking
but
about
I
the
appreciate the
question from
question.
Yavor? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Bulgarian or Maltese. I'm
All
not
right.
sure. Um,
Cool.
Amazing, guys.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. The great questions, everybody. Perfect. I think we went over a lot of sides here. So let's kind of recap it and kind of summarize it. So we have AI powered recording system that records your conversations together. We are making sure that nothing slips between the cracks, and it captures all the highlights and the signals and gives you all the full picture that you don't miss anything. And you can easily go back and investigate the call the day after, or right after, whatever it might be. But you have the visibility, and you know what's going to work and what didn't work. So you're going to go double down on that, and you can cut out whatever wasn't working. But yeah, that's basically what ramp ups teams to work faster, to work smarter. We're going to educate the teams. We're going to keep everyone aligned on what truly drives revenue. So thanks everybody who took the time to join us